Good morning, my friends. Happy Wednesday. So, how is everybody's week so far? Life just feels a little bit different to me in the summer, a little more casual, even though I don't really think that I'm doing any less than I do any other time, but somehow I don't feel like I need to. But it's crazy, right? But it's a little slower pace of life. Hi, Allie. Good morning. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Corinne. So how are all of you guys? I hope you had a great week. Good morning, Sheila. So I couldn't decide what I wanted to paint today. I've been working a lot on those little mini 4x4s, and I'm having so much fun with them. I don't know why. I don't know what, there's not a big difference between painting on a 4x4, 6x6, or a 6x8. There is a big difference than painting on a great big one. That's how far I've gotten on my blueberries. I hope to work on that a little bit this weekend. And I was only here to work on Saturday morning, so I'm a little bit behind on painting stuff, but it's all good. Hi, Chris. How are all of you? I hope everything's going well. So I think I'm going to paint a bird this morning. I was going to do a cow, but I don't think I even have had a 4x4 of a cow. Maybe I'll do that next week. I don't know. Hi, Pam. Good morning, Ellen. So tell me what's new with all of you. Hi, Gail. So, okay, let's get on with this here instead of chatting away. Hi, Sarah. Are your girls watching with you? Hi, Joy. Oops. Oh, wait. Yes, that's right, Gail. Ellen, how are you? So I'm going to paint this bird. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a bird calendar again this year. So I've been painting birds more lately again. He's cute. I like the colors, but I don't want to get, he looks a little fall to me. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I might brighten him up a little. But I love that strong highlight on his beak there. I love that. I love the juxtaposition of the strong dark and the strong light right there. That's one of the things I like about it. Hi, Jim. Hi, Michelle. Thanks. I have my coffee here, and I think I'm ready to dive in. Bird calendar. Yes, a bird calendar. Yes, I need to get moving on that because all of a sudden we're going to be all the way to the fall. How summer goes by in the blink of an eye. And I think I've somehow filled up my entire summer with things to do, which I love, but it doesn't always make enough room for making art, right? It's nice to take a break. I always want to be a school teacher and have that pause to kind of rest from the chaos of life for a couple of weeks, but it never really happens that way. Where is his beak? It starts here, comes down here, about halfway there. It's about where it is. And if I'm guessing why I'm having so much fun painting those little tiny paintings right now is because I let them get looser, more loose. Looser is probably not a word. That's okay. I can make it one. Because I paint very loose and even more spontaneous. I'm going to try to do that now with this and see how it goes. So I've got nothing to lose, right? It's just a painting. If I don't like it, I can start over. You can never let your paintings get too precious because that kind of takes all the fun out of it. The more you can relax into it and enjoy it and not think about it having to turn out a certain way, usually the better it turns out. We can always get in our heads. I do it too, all the time. And I had some of these birds at a gallery, and she called and said that she needs more birds. And I'm like, well, I don't even think I have any more birds to bring you, but so I'll just start painting them. They take a long time, these paintings, to dry, though. I can't just take them down there all of a sudden. I love to do, yes, I do too, Diane. I love to do minis. Hi, Deb. How are you? So Deb Silsky, who is on here, I'm working on a fun project with her to do with the Inspiring Art Collective for any of you guys who are in my group. Something kind of fun and exciting and new and different, which is really cool. Corinne said, I got tons of bird foot. Oh, I would love that, Corinne. That would be fabulous. Send them over. You're such a good photographer. Yeah, so the gentleman that I usually get all my inspiration from, he hasn't been posting as many. I think he's having issues with his hard drive or something. This goes down. It's kind of funny how his eye's shaped over here. I have to pay attention to that. It doesn't get weird. Good morning, Irma. And I like that kind of neutral background. Maybe I'll just do it as kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Got a mess here on my palette. Check out Page for Love. Thank you. And you don't mind if we use them, Corinne? That would be great. Yeah, being more of a photographer. That's great to have that as one of your skill sets. I don't know. My problem's more lighting than anything. I, was an art director and still do that for my job. But when it comes to being able to light things correctly, and I always feel like I have a lot to learn. So it kind of goes that way. That's a little wonky. Pretty fun. Hi, Gabby. Thank you, Susie. Wonderful. Well, thank you. Always appreciate having inspiration to paint from. Can never have too much of it. I'm just darkening this a little bit. I have this is transparent red. I'm just kind of adding a little bit of that in there. A little bit more blue, and then I think I can do my pigment sticks. Tag me if you paint a bird. Okay, I will do that. Your IG Nature page. And I think I have that, Corinne. Why don't you send that to me just so I remember. I honestly, I hate to say it out loud, but I have like the worst memory. The more things I try to remember, the less I feel like it sticks in my mind. I always say I put something new in my brain and then 10 things fall out the back. And I'm not organized to begin with, so who knows where those thoughts are. And they come back when I'm not trying to find them. That's when you find things in your house too, right? When you're no longer looking for them, they turn up like somewhere where they were the whole time and you can never find them, right? Why is that? Anita, your memory's like that too. I screenshot and also tell Siri, remind me. Yes, yeah, so do I, but I have so many screenshots that when I go back to look for things, I can't find it because I have too many. And I have things in my notes. My worst thing is when people write to me like on social, I can never remember where they wrote to me when I go back to answer, and I can't remember if it's in Facebook or Instagram or if it was an email. Even like when people buy paintings and it's not online, sometimes I can spend so much time trying to find that correspondence because I can't remember where it was. It's terrible. and all the things I want to watch, all the things I want to learn, like I find videos I want to watch, and then I don't have time at the moment. So I will like screenshot it or do whatever, and then I forget where I put it, and then I come back. I never get back to it until it could be months later. That makes me feel more frantic because I feel like if I really want to pay attention to something, I have to do it immediately or I'm going to lose it completely. Do you know what I mean? It's like it almost adds to the urgency. Maybe that's intentional. It's terrible. Social media, they want you to do things right away so you feel that sense of urgency. I never really thought about that. I'm not alone. Thanks, Michelle. Let some of this show through in the end. We'll see how it goes. But no, I guess I'll just go in there with gray. I think that's pretty good. I download and save painting videos and forget. Yes, so do I, Anita. Yep. I even buy them and forget them and can't find them. Yes. You know, oh, Life on My Canvas. These are called R&F pigment sticks. I kind of just put them in there to loosen things up. So they're actually oil paint and stick form. They're really creamy. And I just do it in this layer. And now I'll mix paints and go back in with regular oil paint on top. Thank you, Anita. Not mine. Thank you. Oh, and I know how hard that is too. Like when people, you know, buy my course or in my membership, I know how hard it is. Like people will write to me and say, I can't get in there. And it's like you have to remember all those pieces of the login page and your login information. And yeah, and then I have clients who I have all their login information to remember too. It's crazy. Okay, so we need blues. This is indigo. I don't use this color a lot, but I put it on my palette because of that really pretty dark blue area on him. And I think a lot of his, what could be a girl. I don't even know what kind of bird that is. But it could be, gosh, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like that really looks, that indigo color. Sometimes you need like a special, look how close that looks. That might just have a smidge of, when I'm looking at it that closely, it might have a little smidge of French ultramarine. Gosh. But yeah, that looks really close to that color. Yes, I do love adding in fun colors, like colors that I don't often use. Like this one, I want to play with this one, asphaltum. It's like the color of asphalt. I thought that might be a cool color in the background. Anita, does it look like a European bird? Yeah, I found a website where I could download some birds and to be able to use, and I think that's where I got this one. What light did I mix with my indigo? I used this color that I love, Gail. I was using this Vasari Video Blue Extra Pale. I need to buy some new art supplies. It's crazy how quickly I go through them. And since I was thinking since I'm doing this workshop in Connecticut in the fall, sometimes it gets hard to find, seems to me lately, like I'm having trouble finding things like my panels that I paint on. So I thought I really should probably stock up now instead of waiting. That's a little too... That's a weird color. Eastern bluebird, maybe. Oh, Corinne, that makes sense, huh? That, get rid of that. Every now and then I mix up something and it's like totally off the mark. I'm just going to get rid of it because that'll get in my stuff and I'll be like, what is that? Oh, yes, I do have a YouTube channel. I think it's Kim Myers Smith. Myers is my maiden name. I know it's kind of like a complicated thing to remember, but Kim Smith is so boring that I could not get that URL, anything even similar to it. So I kept, my maiden name is Myers, so it's Kim Myers Smith. And there's a link if you're here on Instagram. If you go into my bio where my picture is and click on that, I think there's a link in there to my YouTube channel. And I keep all these videos. They're on my website and they're on my YouTube channel. So you can watch them another time. I love mixing colors. Still a little not quite mixed. I think that's good. I need some. Okay, did I answer? Yes, looks like I answered everything. Now I need some of these pretty gold colors and then a background color. It's pretty simple palette. So boy, I had a busy week last week. My daughter had graduation on Tuesday, prom on Thursday, and then went to senior week on Saturday. And my friend and I actually went down to make sure the girls were checked in okay and everything was good. And so it was fun. We had a weekend in Rehoboth, which was really nice. Something I don't do very often anymore. I didn't have as much painting time as I like, but relaxing time is just as important sometimes as getting things done. I always have to remind myself of that. Oh, I see. Okay. Can you show how to apply it? How to apply what? I'm not sure what you're asking me. Off to Rehoboth Beach next week. You are, Bonnie. Lucky you. Oh, how fun. Yeah, I'd love to go there. Always good food. Very low key, calm. I like it there. I always held my breath till kids got home from senior. Yes, Ellen, right? I know. I was at yoga last night and my phone rang and it was my friend, or Isabel's friend Sophia calling, and I thought, is something wrong? And their air conditioner broke, which is not a big deal, but right away you get a call and you're thinking, oh, did they do something stupid? But they didn't. I'm heading to Lancaster for a few days next week. Is the Central Market open every day? I'd love to get some flowers while I'm in time. Central Market is open Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And they're open from pretty early in the morning. I'd say 6:30 in the morning until probably 2 o'clock. So you have to go pretty early in the day. Is your palette made out? Yes, this is, I got it at where you get countertops. It's like a sample from the countertop store. I got it because when I made my online course, I was concerned of light hitting the glass palette. So I did this. That's pretty. Maybe I'll add a little bit of this blue in there. Yes, he will start painting shortly. Oh, that's pretty. That's a nice background. Isn't that a cool color? Sometimes the simplest colors are just so gorgeous. And like, if you ever said, oh, what color do you like? Like, what color is? I love colors that you're not quite sure what the color is. Henlope and Acres Art League is wonderful. Yes, I did the art show there. And my kids, we had a beach house down there, probably like 20 years ago. And, oops, I meant she, okay. Let me see here. Oh, I'll start painting. I gotcha. I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention enough here. I was so lost in mixing colors. Yes, I'm going to paint now. So, no, I don't know what I was saying. Good morning. a little bit of reflection there. Let me move this. Does that help? That's not making much of a difference, and I can see better, so I think I'll just let it. A family house. Oh, you do? Lucky you. That's wonderful. Yeah, we did a nice long, like a 4-mile walk through there on Sunday morning. Yes, and I'm going to do, I think I have to decide. I'm going to decide by today, and I think I'm a yes. I'm going to do the Rittenhouse Square Fine Art Show in the fall. So I'm excited about that because they just did the one for spring, and I had gotten into it, and it just was virtual because the city of Philadelphia wouldn't let them do it, and now I got into the one for the fall, so I think I'm going to do it. It's always so tricky for me because my husband's a school teacher, and I really can't. I know a lot of people can do it, but I have a hard time like setting up the whole thing myself, like setting up the tent, and it's very challenging to do all that work up over your head and do all that. This is so fun. Just came in from the garden. Oh, Chris, how nice. Is the bird underpainting in oil? Yes. Yep. I kind of use transparent layers underneath, and then the opaque colors on top. I'm going to let it stay a little spontaneous, not kind of in the middle. It's always that thing of trying to keep it loose and fun, not too tight, but also enough that you know what it is. My goal is always to make paintings that if you're up close, all you look at are the beautiful brush strokes, but if you step back, it almost looks realistic. It's my favorite kind of painting. Sometimes I hit the mark, sometimes not. My peonies are finally starting their parade. Oh, Chris, you're so lucky because ours are all finished. I needed one for my inspiring art lesson. I wanted one for Friday, and we don't have any, although, or did I need, I have a lesson today too for the people in, I don't know which lesson I need it for. Okay, how do you keep track of colors that are transparent versus opaque? Is there a list of, or do I have to check all the labels? Once you get used to using the same colors, and laying them out on your palette in the same way, you can kind of tell. But if you message me, I can send you, I have like a list of my favorite colors, the ones that I use in my membership, that I would be happy to send to you. And that's not all colors, it's just the ones, you know, my kind of go-to ones when I'm teaching. But that's a good start anyway. I identified this bird. Someone was correct. It's from Germany. It's a male common cowfinch, notably because of his blue collar and his neck. Oh, how cool. It's beautiful. I have my friend Julie that I've been friends with forever. Her daughter is in Germany, and because her husband's in the service. And she's having a baby, so Julie's going there soon, like next month. It's very exciting. A little more blue in this area, I think. Here I am. I'm using too small of a brush. I would tell you that. So, yes, thanks, Corinne. Thank you. Went to a bigger brush. Sometimes I do that. I end up using the small one because now I've been painting on those little 4x4s. I often use a smaller brush, but I should try and just use my 4x4s on the same size brush. That would keep things loose. Merlin app is a great app for identifying birds. Oh, thank you. That's good. I don't like to overwork the background, but I like it to have some brush strokes in it. That's good. I screenshotted the photo and entered it in the app. Oh, I see, Corinne. Great. How long have you been painting, and what was the biggest game changer for you in perfecting your technique? Well, I've always been an artist, but I started making the commitment to get up and paint every day, I would say probably 8 years ago. And I would say the biggest game changer is that when I made the commitment to doing this, I got up every morning and painted. So I would say practice. It's just like anything else, that kind of rote beat, when you do it so often that you do it without thinking. Like, you have to do it enough that it all becomes kind of second nature. It's like anything else that you want to get good at. And it's so fun. Like, in the beginning, it was hard to get myself up in the morning. Like, I'd be like, ugh. And then, it gets in the way of doing other things, like working out. Suffered a little bit, and sometimes laundry didn't get done and still doesn't. But when I wake up in the morning and I know I'm coming into my studio to paint, like, I'm out of bed and ready to go because I love it. It is very rewarding. Oh, I am using, this brush is about an inch big. It's a Rosemary and Company Eclipse Short Flat, size 12. Where do you paint? Is it home studio? Yes. About how it's structured. Well, it's nothing fancy. It is a little home studio. It's in my basement. I just set up a little space, and in the midst of it is an area where all the toys are stored from my children, because whenever we have friends over, we like to have toys for the kids to play with. So it's nothing fancy, but it's my happy place. I always wanted, go into it like a real studio, a real grown-up studio, but I think I'd miss this space. And it's very convenient because I have a business, a marketing and design business. So I work a lot, so I can work on work. Like, I can work at my computer, which is upstairs. During COVID, I brought home all my computer and everything, so I can do it all here at home, which is nice. It's nice to be able to work on home stuff, work on art stuff, and kind of do it all simultaneously. That's something that I gained during COVID, and now none of us really want to go back to the office because it's nice being home. I started at home. We started our business, the marketing and design business, back when there were modems. So we've been in business for like 30 years now. So we all worked from home. And then we grew, so we ended up getting an office and having all of that. And now COVID came, we all went home, and we all like it better. Kind of back where we started. Yeah, so you don't need anything fancy to build a painting practice, just a little space in your home. It is convenient if you don't have to break everything down every time you start and stop. Like, I leave my paint palette out. I just cover it with the little lid to it's actually a lid to a yeah, you just need a little space and a little time. And I started doing this by carving out, like, I would just do it and I still really only do it for about an hour in the morning. You're welcome. Didn't miss anything. Okay. Trying to find my commitment to paint. Oh, good. I'm glad you're inspired. Yes. Carve out time for art. I love that hashtag. What color is your darkest dark over the beak? That is mostly the indigo blue with a little bit of Van Dyke brown, I think, in it. I like to have a little bit of featherishness going on, but not overwhelming. Your strokes around the eyes are so precise. I'm too shaky. Yeah, well, you just keep practicing it. I didn't fuss with them. I put down those intentional brush strokes, and now it's hard for me not to want to go back in and fuss with them a little bit, but they don't really need it. I might do a little highlight there on that one eye. It's that putting down your brush strokes. See, I'm fussing. I shouldn't be fussing right there. But they call that something when you kind of go back in and kind of mix on your palette like I'm doing. I don't want to do that. So this is on a raised panel. It's an ampersand gesso board, and I have the sides painted gold. And it's like wired to hang. See, I have the wire on there. I try to do that ahead of time because then I can hang them up to dry. So now I'm looking at it through, gosh, in real life it looks much more real life. It's a photo on my end. Did you add yellow to get the brightness in the brown? Yes, I did, Gail. I added Indian yellow. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I have yellow on my brush. And I feel like this needs to go a little darker here because I think I need a little bit more. When I'm looking at it through the camera, it looks a little more purple than it does. Not that it matters. So I'm never really trying to be completely accurate. I just want it to be a little more spontaneous. A little texture in there. So what looks funny is this too. I think I need to go darker in here. It looks too flat or something. Yeah, this is and this needs to go a little darker also. The colors all look very similar in the photograph. Sneeze. How do you get the grid? Excuse me. I get the grid on there using an app called Grid Hashtag. I'm going to go with the smaller brush for a little bit. It looks like this. Do you see that? Oh, so all you do is you find your photo, like I was thinking about doing that today, and see the grids on there, and you just save it. It's super easy. I think it's called Grid Hashtag. I always forget if it's dark to make the pointer beak. Add a touch of dark. Yes, I need to add that lightness to the beak too. I always kind of do I totally usually do the, at the end I do the splashes of color, the lightest lights. I still have to do that part. Got a little brush bristle there. I think this needs to indent right there. I think I feel like it was too, did that help a little bit? I think so. Love the cow. Maybe next week. Yes, Anita, I think I should do that cow. Did I teach myself to paint? Yeah, I think I pretty much did. I mean, I took like a painting class when I was in 6th grade from a local lady, but she would just let us paint. I didn't like the class because we had to be quiet the whole time, and I'm not good at quiet. And she would just finish them for us. When we were close to finish and they didn't look good, she'd finish them. And I did go to college for graphic design, so I had to know how to draw and things like that. I love anything related to art. Did you apply the Rembrandt transparent oxide brown? No, that's a really good idea, though. That would actually work. I used the transparent oxide red already, but that would work too. Transparent oxide brown. I just didn't even think of it this morning when I was putting out my colors. I put out Van Dyke brown. So I've been playing around with. I think I'm fussing with it now. There's a highlight on the left side of his head toward the back, which might help. That right here, is that what I'm fussing around with? Is that it, Corinne? Yeah, because I keep going back there. Separate his head from his neck. Yeah. Yep. That already helped. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes I know something's wrong and I can't figure it. I can't fix it. I just keep going back to that same spot and not quite doing what I need to. Now that got a little too fat, this little, whoop, look at that big piece of paint that I did there. I'm gonna get the big brush out again. Yep, that was it, Corinne. Thank you. Those are the kind of things that sometimes you have to walk away from your painting and come back to it later to figure out what things you missed or didn't notice. Or sometimes you come back and think it looks good, and if you touch it one more time, you'll mess it up. There is that point too. I usually know when that's coming, or right when it starts to happen. Thank you, Irma. Oh, I wanted to do a little highlight on the side. That was the other. I have to get a tiny brush out here. Just the tiniest little. I think this brush is too random. It's not a point. I feel like I have a million brushes and nowhere near enough. Do you know what I mean? Do you ever feel like that? Can you ever have too many brushes? I doubt it. Too bright, Mary. Mary, good morning, Mary. I taught myself by watching Kim and taking her classes. Yes, Anita. Thank you. And it's so fun, isn't it? Now I have to just check the top of his head, and then I think I might be finished, because I'll get to the point where I'm fussing with it too much. I like that, like little bits of the gold that I put that, I can show you up close a little bit. The RNF pigment stick, I love when that shows through. Yeah. Does this top of his head look like a helmet too much? Do I need to blend this a little? No, I think I need to stop because I'm fussing with it too much. Not good to do. Okay, I'm going to sign it. I'm going to sign it and be finished. Because if I keep fussing with it like that, then I'll take it too far and then I'll mess something up. Do you have to keep the pigment sticks covered so they don't dry out? Yeah, it's probably a good idea too. I'll show you how they come in these little tubes like this. But I in the beginning I tried to do that, but I'm not good at things like that. So no, mine just lay here like this, and then if they get a film on them, I just wipe the film off. But I don't keep them in those tubes. That's too high maintenance for me. Like, can you see in there? I love, it's a little bit of that gold in there above his eye. I love that, and you can see a little bit of it in here. It's hard to get the light right. But I love when bits of the color shows through like that. And there's my palette that I mixed. I use, it's called a Kemper Wipeout tool. You could use any, because it's wet into wet, you could even use the back end of your brush to do it because it's wet paint. It's just the white of what's underneath there is what shows through. The shimmer. Yeah, I love the shimmer. So, wow, I finished ahead of schedule today. How fun is that? Means I get to work early. So, guys, thanks for coming. I will save this and put it on my YouTube channel. And please go look at YouTube, and if you watch them, like them or comment on them. That all helps my algorithms, as crazy as that sounds. And I also have these stored on my website, or at least the links are all in my blog. And I think that's it. I don't know if I'm forgetting to say anything else or not, but yes, thanks for coming, and thank you, Corinne, for generously sharing your photos. I should go pull some of them for my calendar. I'll have to send you a calendar then. So thanks for coming, guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll do this again. And oh, Darla's the one that posted the cow photo, so maybe I'll do that next week. I was worried that the little panel, the square, would be too small, but I think we'll be fine with that. So thanks for coming, guys. I'll save this, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye. Thanks.